Hello, everybody out there in comic book land. My name is George Serrano, aka The Don. And if you're here, you're only here for one reason, a brand new episode of the Major Issues podcast brought to you by ComicBook Clique. And this one is a very special edition. This is for all the lovers out
bringing
there.
all the love out.
And you know I'm not alone. Sir, introduce yourself.
I am the Cloudus Maximus, and this is a special love Valentine's Day episode.
Yes, Cloudus Maximus is joining me here in the Major Issues headquarters, the Comic Book Clique headquarters. And we decided, it's time to talk a little love with Valentine's Day today. I mean, if you're listening to this when this comes out, this is the very special Valentine's Day edition of the Major Issues podcast. I mean, love is in the air. Are you a big Valentine's Day guy, Cloudus?
I'm not.
No?
I can be. But I'm also engaged, so I'm trying to plan my wedding for the summer.
Oh, because you have a last Valentine, right?
Yes, this is true.
How did you feel growing up with Valentine's Day? Did you do the whole cards and?
I did the whole cards,
school,
the chocolates in school. I got chocolates from girls and stuff like that. So
right.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was different.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I get this for Valentine's Day,
It's awesome. Equality, right?
Yes.
That's how that works. Yeah, I guess I liked Valentine's Day growing up. I always didn't know if I was getting the right thing, the right flowers. There's so many different kinds of flowers and chocolate. And you don't want to do what everyone does, but girls kind of expect it anyway, you know?
Right?
So, I've just learned that the best way you go at it is ask your significant other what they like, try to surprise them the best way you can, because that's what it's all about. It's about being sincere. It's about being genuine, and that's why we sincerely and genuinely are trying to give you the best and most loving podcast today.
XOXO.
It's a lot of love. That's a whole lot of love. But with Valentine's Day coming up, we got Black Panther next week, and we'll be reviewing that next week on Major Issues. I can't wait to just sit here and discuss all that. But
I think when we do that, I think I'm just gonna be here and just Wakanda forever. The whole way through.
You're gonna change your nationality on Facebook to Wakandan.
Wakandan. We're going to Wakanada.
But
back to love.
Yes, back to love. Because Black Panther takes that heart-shaped herb in Wakanda. That's what gives him the strength. And sometimes love gives us strength, but majority of times love gives strength to the heroes that we like to read and watch and see on television and stuff like that. I mean, you don't have a lot of these comic book heroes, girls or men, without their significant others, without their counterparts, whether it be their married partner or just a girlfriend or a boyfriend. We've seen all kinds of weird relationships, sometimes even love triangles branch out in comic books. Have you ever taken somebody on a date to go see a comic book movie?
Not in a while.
Is your fiance a big comic book movie?
She is, but she works a lot, so.
Yes. So you pretend to not enjoy
So what I do is I'll let it collect on Netflix, so then we can binge. That's the plan.
Do you know her favorite comic book movie? I'm curious from a girl's perspective. If you had to guess which one you thought she enjoyed while sitting with her, what would you say it was?
Well, to be honest, it's been a while. I'm gonna say she's still stuck in phase 1, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but she shows interest, so I can't knock her for that.
Is she as big of a Spider-Man fan as you are? Because you are one of the biggest Spider-Man fans I know.
That's hard. I wouldn't be able to say, but she loves my
enthusiasm.
She loves my enthusiasm.
Hey, listen, that's kind of part you need. You need somebody who's gonna flame those fires. I actually have tried some comic book movie dates. I love comic book anything. So
yes,
it's kind of a test, right? To see if they are engaged in the sort of kind of stuff that I really find big interest in.
Right.
And one of those things is comic book movies. You gotta kind of watch which ones, though. I wouldn't take a girl to go see like BVS. That's
right. Everybody's got to feel.
Or Logan even, right? Because Logan gets kind of dry. Yeah, I don't know if you... At the end of that, she might actually want to have a kid.
I don't want to say... I don't want to say this and people might take it the wrong way, but Logan is good.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Great film. Great film,
So
but
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
she'd be able to, enjoy it. But
But you know what
Batman
movie
versus
works? You know what movie works? Deadpool works. Girls
Deadpool does
like
work.
Deadpool.
You know
I
what
was
it is?
shocked.
I don't think it is that they love Deadpool. I think they
It's
love the
Ryan Reynolds.
yeah, I think they love the man behind the mask.
But now I'm gonna play devil's advocate, or at least try to have a touch into my feminine side. And I want to say that Deadpool's main appeal
Mhm.
is one, humor.
Right?
Girls like somebody who's
Yeah,
funny.
girls like the funnies.
You know, I mean, I like somebody who's funny. I don't think that's exclusive to girls. The
Right.
person that I'm with, I like to
Has to have
joke
a funny
around.
bone,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a sense of humor, and so it kind of makes every day a little bit of an adventure, I guess you would say.
Mhm.
And so when you have somebody like Wade Wilson, even though he curses like a
Like up a
sailor,
storm, yeah.
and he's a murderer,
Mhm.
you know, constantly killing people left and right, uh, people still found the heart in that movie, and that movie has a lot more heart than people give it
Yeah,
credit
people
for.
give credit for. Cuz he
The
has cancer, bro.
the scene where he's sitting there and she's asking the doctor if there's anything else that they can do to save his life,
Mhm.
and he kind of starts to drown out her words
Yeah.
because he's not really
He's
paying
not
attention to what
really
she's
cuz he
saying.
knows in his mind he knows
And
it's over.
he says something along the lines of like, you know, she's sitting here thinking of every possible way she can of saving me, and all I can do is try to memorize all the lines in her face.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Deadpool, oh my god, like that's deep. That's
Yeah.
deep. You don't think you'll get that from Mr. Chimichangas.
Right.
And what is it? You don't gotta be super to save the girl.
It sucks cuz after he says that it's like, damn.
Oh, I loved that
It's like,
line.
damn.
You don't have to be the right girl will make you superhuman, something like that.
I'm trying to remember.
But how'd you like Vanessa and Deadpool's relationship? Vanessa and Wade's relationship.
I love it. To me, I think it's low key what everybody I guess wants in a way, but nobody's gonna. I don't think every girl's gonna want a Deadpool. You know?
A Deadpool. Oh, like a full Deadpool.
Yeah, a Wade. Well, not even a full Deadpool, just a Wade Wilson. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Well, the wisdom that he tried to impose is you don't need to be a superhero to get the girl.
Right.
The right girl will bring out the hero in you.
That's mean.
That's pretty damn.
Yeah,
that's
pretty.
Hallmark card worthy right there, bro.
Mhm.
You can't beat that. That's big. And Deadpool dropped in around Valentine's Day 2 years ago, blew up, and I kind of wanted to dive into Deadpool, but in finding out that, like I said, that females like Deadpool, and I don't mean to be disparaging.
Right,
Females
right,
like all
right.
movies. It's just that certain characters you wouldn't think would have that mass appeal of both genders. So I thought that it would be best to just take a second and think about these relationships in comic books, and especially in comic book movies and
Break
stuff
it
like
down.
that. I just want to do a little bit of a deep dive in that. So, like I said, as far as comic book movie like dates are concerned, there's Ant-Man and the Wasp looks like it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Black Panther, there's some royalty in there. Infinity War.
You could even if you want to go be Skur, New Mutants is coming out.
Oh yeah, you got New Mutants coming out too. That's got to be young love.
Young Skur love. You want to go get
young
Skur.
Scary love. But the thing is, like, we're talking about new movies and new things, new media coming out as far as what people should look out for. But to tell you the truth, if you have a Netflix account or a Hulu, there are a ton of romantic moments.
Start chilling
in movies, television shows, in the actual comic books themselves. I thought it'd be interesting to find out what some of your favorite, I guess, romantic moments from comic book television shows, actual comic books, movies, animation. What do you think when you think of comic books and superhero and romance? What are the moments that jump out to you?
I have in my head I have Black Widow and the Hulk. Sun's getting low.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I did not expect those two to get paired off that way.
It's like I didn't expect it, but you can kind of see it. So when it did, so for me, when it did happen, it was like, oh, if she could do that, if she's the only one that can do that, then nah.
Yeah, because Betty, Betty Ross was in the first movie, and while she calmed him down, she did not transport him. She did not transport him. So I guess Black Widow is I guess has a Hulk's heart more than Betty.
Betty.
So I mean,
To me, but if I could like segue into something real quick, I feel like Betty and Hulk don't get enough. I feel like they don't get enough dues because you got a lot of couples out there,
right?
in the comics. But I feel like it's that way because of the movies in a way,
Well, yeah, you think about it, right?
which is why I probably like Black Widow and the Hulk so much. It was really refreshing to see Bruce with somebody else
Right.
and to have a hold on him in that kind of manner. I
Yeah.
was like, yo, you could pursue that, dude. Go
Yeah. Yeah.
ahead.
And they even play with that in Ragnarok, where the message gets played back, and he still,
Yeah, and that was cool. That
manages
was
to
real cool.
transform it, even after
He still
he's
got
been
yeah,
Hulk
and he
for.
still got a spot. Bruce knows who she is, and Hulk knows who she is. So
Yeah,
that's
so
real
that
cool.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty damn romantic. How about we go moment for moment then? How about
Mm.
you just said that moment. I'll give you a moment, and we can just bounce off each other. I think that could be an organic way of
I
conversation.
look at that.
For my organic romantic. It could be romantic and
Romantic,
organic.
organic,
That's it. It's
organic
good for you.
romanticism.
Romance is good for you. Wow, organic romanticism. I
Mm.
like how that sounded.
Because love
Is that
conquers
a
all.
thing?
You see, guys.
Love does conquer all. I need to like put my GPS back on. I was listening to that earlier today. But anyway, so you got Sun's Getting Low.
Mhm.
I'll take your Sun's Getting Low and I will match it with Peter's Sacrifice from Guardians of the Galaxy. Gamora's ship is blown to smithereens, and her green body is out there floating in the void of space, lacking oxygen.
Peter goes to
And
get her.
Peter goes to get her. And I think what made this moment even better is the constant yelling of Rocket.
Yeah,
yelling
you'll
the
die.
Kind of yelling the obvious things,
bro,
like,
because
you'll die, don't
but
do
he's
it.
saying, the way he's saying,
Yeah.
he's like, yo, yeah, this is the only way I can say it. Dude, don't go. You're an asshole, but you're my friend. You know what I mean? So
I know what
felt
you're
that.
doing
Yeah,
is-
I felt that from him.
What you're doing is right, but it's not smart.
Right. Yeah.
And he could have died. And to my knowledge, he did set himself up to get pulled out. He called the Ravagers out
Right.
so they could show up and pull him into their ship. But I don't think he knew 100% that he was going to survive.
Right.
that. And the fact that
Or
he
the
didn't
fact that they
know-
were they're gonna get there on time.
Yeah, and I think the fact that for the most part, you don't really see him showing affection to anyone in this movie prior to this moment.
Right.
It's big, it's romantic, and when the music swells up,
Son.
the music swells up, and you see the what's happening to his skin.
His skin, yeah, he's
because of
turning and
the
stuff like that,
thing.
and she's got the I guess the space shield to breathe.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps because they Easter egg that in Guardians 2
They did.
with Yondu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn, that's
like
that's
father,
a thing.
like son.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
thing.
awesome work, Marvel.
All
Awesome
right,
work,
nice.
awesome work. So that's me. That's my moment. I got a couple more. If you got a couple more, but
I
yeah,
have Tony saves Tony.
Tony saving.
What is wrong with us today? It's all this love that's got us messed up.
OVE.
Mine is Tony. I was gonna do it again. Mine is Pepper saves Tony. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, Pepper saving Tony.
Mhm.
So in that, that's also interesting because they were 1 and 3. They were like on the rocks, right?
Yeah, on the rocks. I guess
Because
on
2,
or
I
off.
felt like they were in love.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you cannot
yeah,
to the
yeah.
point that Romanoff shows up and he's like, "Can I keep her?" and joking around, and
I
she's
want one.
she's like, she's down with it. But in 3, it becomes like you're not even managing your business
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, and
you
we're
know?
living together.
Right.
Too, yeah.
But I'm also your boss. Like you're doing this
Mhm.
weird thing of like giving me, work to do, and then disappearing, and then she's actually dealing with his PTSD from New York in
Yeah.
that film. You want to talk about ride or die, right? Like she almost is murdered in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night
Because
because
of
of the walking robot.
yeah, because of
walking
a
suit.
sentient suit. So to have her come at the end and save the day and just I am the Mandarin,
Hold
and then
that.
boosh, thrown to the side was pretty cool. How did you feel about Tony blowing up all the
I thought that was nice.
suits at
I
the
thought
end
that
for
was
Pepper?
nice. I mean, to be honest, if
Kind of unnecessary.
if I'm being a real mega pain in the butt,
Yeah.
the way he kind of was, and she was dealing with it, man, you know, and it was just he wasn't like
It's funny. It's funny that you say
he
that.
wasn't appreciating it in a
But
way.
he did the guy thing, right?
Yeah, he
Like
was doing the guy
we
thing.
do that thing of like, you know, if my girl says like, "Oh, I don't want you drinking too much soda," I won't ever drink soda.
Right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
Like, that's a little bit dramatic,
Uh-huh,
but I'm
uh-huh.
just trying to make her happy, and
Mhm.
I want to show her that by doing the most.
Yeah,
So
but doing the most.
so
So
blow up
I'm gonna blow
all
up the
my
most.
suits.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna blow
like
up all of them.
that's the Tony Stark way of doing it. Like it's pretty
It's funny
smart.
because
Yeah.
I'll put that down and I have that here and she saved this behind again in the movie, but given granted Tony threw on the suit on her.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was cool to see her come in the nick of time and come over him,
Yeah, last
you
minute.
know, and
Oh yeah, and
save
block
his
him.
behind
Yeah,
and block whatever was falling from the ceiling.
yeah, because she
That
has
was
a
cool.
full
That was
Iron
cool
Man
too.
suit
So
on.
she go ahead, Pepper. You get two. You get two.
Check that out. Pepper saving. Nah, I think that that was really cool, and I really like
Dude,
how they
she
tie it together with the arc reactor ends up becoming a necklace, and they show them
Mm-hmm.
like really fancy, like Tony's in
That
the
was
all
that
white
was
suit,
dope. Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. Like,
That's
look
how
at
you knew he
them.
was about it, dude. She one of the suits came to come deal with her, and she jumped and
Oh yeah,
stuck her
yeah,
hand in
yeah,
the
yeah,
chest piece,
yeah, and then
and then
slammed it down.
took the arm off the repulsor and kicked. I guess what was a missile on the ground,
She
and
was
then
on a. She
used the
was
whole arm, and
on what? What was that she was
that
on?
was the extremist.
Extremis. Yes, she was on Extremis. I can't forget. I couldn't remember that for some strange reason. But yeah,
But
no, no, Pepper.
it was nice to see because if she used whatever hand from the suit that she used, that means she was coded to all of the suits.
That's true. That's true. Someone had a backup plan. Uh, I'm gonna go with
Your move.
moments. Yeah, with that's a pretty big one. So I'm gonna go a little bit unconventional here.
Hmm.
This is gonna have a disclaimer on it, so you already know it's
I like
kind of a
this.
big
I like
deal.
where we're going.
All right, my disclaimer for this choice is that I am not a fan of the couple.
Okay.
Um, but
Hmm.
but the moment that I will describe right now, besides the what this is, besides the toxicity of it, is one of the most breathtaking moments in cinematic history, and that's when the Joker jumps in after Harley in the chemical
Oh,
bath.
dude, why? That's crazy. Why? What?
And that's the thing. I don't
The,
think you thought about it because
I
of
didn't. I did.
superheroes.
Yeah.
And they're villains,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the thing. I'm not a fan of
Hell yeah.
I'm not a fan of the relationship, and I'm not a fan of the toxicity of of that. But when he
That's
when he sends her off,
that shot. Oh,
yeah, when
go
he
ahead,
sends her,
go ahead,
when
go ahead.
so he tells her,
Oh,
do you love me? Would you live for me? Would you die for me? Surrender, surrender to me and gain the power of surrendering, and basically, shows the vat in which the vat that transformed him, the vat that
mhm.
he fell into, and so she jumps without a care in the world.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? If this is what I have to do to prove to you that I love you, I will. She jumps Romeo and Juliet style
Right.
right in. And the look that he gives,
It's
like
like,
he tries to walk away, and for a second,
I
there,
like her, so I gotta go in and get her.
for a
Oh,
second there,
dude.
he realizes that he has to jump in too. And in that moment where he throws off his blazer
All in one. Oh,
and
go
jumps
ahead.
through, and yeah, I knew it was a good moment. I knew it was a good
Ooh, I
moment.
love that
And as
moment.
they're sitting there,
Right.
surrounded by the colors of red and blue,
Yeah, red and blue
of their
the
clothing
stuff.
in the water, and he's laughing. It gives me chills.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is completely romantic, but I do believe it is a romantic moment. I
Right,
think
right.
given any other two characters,
But given you can see him actually come around to be like,
yes.
I
But I
guess
feel,
I really like
but you
her.
can see why I had to do that
Right,
disclaimer.
right,
Where I
right,
had
right.
to be like, hey, by the
that
way,
was brilliant.
I'm not a fan
Because the
of
heroes,
these
yeah,
two.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You got another one?
I do. I have Spider-Man's "I Love You" on the Brooklyn Bridge. Amazing Spider-Man. Gwen
Amazing
Stacy.
Spider-Man 2. Not everybody's favorite movie.
No,
Not
but there are
everybody's favorite
things
movie.
to like about that. There are things to like about.
I would go as far as to say that that relationship portrayal is one of my favorites
Yeah.
in comic book movie history, and this is probably because Garfield and Emma Stone were actually
Actually
together
together,
at the
yeah.
time. So you get to see they really play off of each other, and it's so cute. It makes me sick, but it's
Right, right,
still
right. I
very
know what you
cute.
mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's still very cute because you know that these things are gonna happen. You
Right.
watch a movie and you know when the protagonist gets with somebody, and you know there's
Mhm.
certain beats.
And
But they were
everybody,
really nervous. Like the
yeah.
bashfulness really played off, being shy, trying to impress each other. All that stuff really showed. All the little joking moments where they would start to kind of tell a joke with each other and start
Hmm.
to smile little by little and play off of each other. They did an amazing job there. But you're not even talking about that. You're talking about a moment in which Peter has almost out of
And
fear,
and yeah,
thrown Gwen Stacy away because Gwen Stacy's about to
she's about to
leave.
go to college. Yeah.
She's about to go to college. I think go to London for college. That Gwen Stacy, one smart cookie. She's about to go to London for college, and Peter has been like dodging this
Yeah.
entire conversation because he does not want to say goodbye to her. And
I mean, plus,
she's yeah.
if the girl I'm dating or I'm together with knows my superhero identity, you know, then
Might as well,
I'm
right?
I'm eventually gonna do something within my superhero powers
Well,
to
it's a truth,
for her. You know what I mean? So
and
I thought that was real cool.
it's already been established that these webs dissolve, so no one
Yeah.
has to
So it
clean up,
doesn't. Yeah. No
and
one
no
has to
one
clean it up.
and no one would know who he's talking to when he
Nope.
does this. But Spider-Man just webs up a message, just like one of those plane writers or cloud
Hmm.
writers in the sky. He's able to web up "I love you."
On the Brooklyn Bridge.
Gwen Stacy
How
sees
classy.
that, and it was amazing. It was huge. Also, that's one thing. It was
Yeah. It
freaking
was.
huge. It probably took all day, but that Peter Parker,
That Peter, I
that Peter
tell you.
Parker. Oh, he loves his girls. Um, that was selfless. But I think I might have the most selfless, or at least most crazily selfless, moment, probably in history,
Okay.
and that comes from the first Superman movie.
You mean like the very,
I'm
very
talking
first?
about Christopher Reeves. I'm
Woo! We
talking
going back in
about Margot
time.
Kidder as Lois Lane. I'm talking about 1978,
I
broski,
can't. You gotta
and
respect. You gotta respect that one though. That's a
and
classic.
and basically, the moment that I'm picking is a moment that's kind of been joked around with at this time, and it's a moment where Superman is saving a bunch of different people. Lois Lane, yeah, I was gonna say Lois Wayne. That almost got crazy. Lois Lane's car falls into like a ravine, like a crevice, and because there's like a big earthquake and stuff like that going on, aftershocks and stuff that have to deal with like
Hmm.
Lex Luthor and a bunch of other things like that. But anyway, Lois is in danger. Superman goes to save her,
Hmm.
isn't able to, and Lois dies. And so Superman, in his
Wow,
anger,
I didn't know
screams to
that.
the heavens and flies fast
Oh, I
enough.
do remember that. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
Flies
yeah,
fast
yeah,
enough
yeah.
in the opposite direction of the Earth's
Yeah, makes it
rotation
go all
to
the
go
way.
back in time
Wow.
and save
To be honest,
Lois.
to be honest, that is it's kind of stupid, but it's clever.
It's
I
incredibly
like
selfish. At the
I
very
kind
least, it's
well what
incredibly
I mean
selfish.
well the act in a whole
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
grand thing,
He didn't take much time to think about it in the moment. When it happened, he screams,
but how
and then
did
he
he
just
know
does
he
it.
can do that?
Jor-El had said like do not do not destroy human history, son. You know how he gives him like
Right, 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 right.
and he's like nah. And I just I met this
Nah,
girl and
Superman.
yeah, nah, B.
Damn,
And
that's
flies.
I remember that because every time I think about that, I can see
Every time.
I can see the Earth going the opposite, turning the opposite way,
Yeah.
and him flying in the opposite way.
Yep, faster and faster and faster. He starts throwing
Oh my
they start
God.
throwing like the first
Yeah,
two
the
lines
first
of him
shoo,
flying, and
shoo,
then he just
shoo,
starts going
and then the
faster.
Earth starts moving in that direction.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
definitely. Yeah, that's that. I was thinking hard. I was trying to think hard, and I don't want to go to the normal Lois and Clark stuff because there's so much. I mean, that
Right,
couple has
right.
been together forever. Um, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Him going back in time, I mean, that's pretty major.
Hmm.
I was actually able to ask a couple people of a couple clickers
Ooh.
about some of these things that I'm asking you today. So, as far as moments are concerned, Chantel T from Manhattan
Ooh.
says that her favorite moment is Clark going into Lois's bathroom while she's in the tub and
Oh, okay.
sexing her up.
Okay.
Now
Woo.
that's a girl. That's a girl pick
Yeah, that's a
there.
girl pick there. So
I
you can't argue with
mean,
that.
if you're in the
Girls know what
tub
they
and
want.
Superman shows up, I guess that
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I can't argue with that. Did you get any sparks from that kind of relationship?
I mean,
It's kind of bland to me, but
I mean, I get the gist of the them both being in the bathroom,
oh,
but
definitely a sexy moment.
yeah,
Regardless, sexy moment.
definitely. But once he gets in, like you're Superman, bro. Like you don't need to get in there with your clothes. You could just rip them off and
That-
and rip hers off while you
That's
at
it.
it,
Just
and
rip
just
off
you know.
everybody's clothes. Soups. What's taking you so damn long? But yeah, that was I thought it would be interesting to get.
I thought it was cool to see the visual was real cool to see him get in the tub and because she doesn't have any clothes on.
Yeah.
You know. So for him to get in there with the clothes was kind of cool.
Oh
to see,
yeah,
because you don't
to
get
show
into
he don't care. Yeah,
because you don't get into the bath with the
Did
clothes
he come
on.
in with like groceries too?
Yeah,
like,
he did. Groceries or flowers or something like that.
Listen,
Yeah.
when your man comes in with groceries and he's willing to get in the tub of clothes,
Marry that man.
realize, or maybe that's how they do it in Krypton. Keep your clothes on, girl. That's how we do it in Krypton.
Or in Smallville.
That's how we do it in Kansas. That Kansas love, and you want that farmer boy love. You want that farmer strength.
Wow, farmer strength.
You knew that was coming.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The farmer strength. The farmer strength.
Woo.
I'm trying to think any moments. They come off the top of my head. There's just been so much good stuff. Spider Gwen and Miles are together now in the comics. Or at
I
least they're
didn't know
flirting
that,
around.
and that is so much yes.
Flirting
for
around
me.
with that idea, Gwen Stacy lives in a world where her Peter Parker died, so you don't got to worry about Peter getting in the middle of that love triangle, because you got you'll just have Miles and
I like that.
and
I didn't know how
Gwen.
much I needed that to just now. I saw like posters and stuff like online for that,
For them
but
to-
I didn't think it was legit.
Well, the thing is, man, you
Because
have
the
to,
internet is an evil place.
It had to be a place where Peter didn't exist.
Yeah,
Because-
definitely,
Because comic books are plagued with love triangles.
Mhm.
Absolutely plagued with love triangles. One of the biggest ones is in the X-Men. You have there's like a love rectangle because you have Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops, right? Scott's always been kind of respectful and always been with Jean and all that sort of kind of stuff. And Wolverine kind of just been flirting on the side. They played around with that in the movies. But then eventually, when Jean Grey passes away, Emma Frost. Wow, check that out. Emma Frost and Scott get together. So that makes a nice little thing there.
Yeah, but when Homegirl comes back.
Oh, and Jean Grey
when
comes back.
Jean
Yeah, then
comes
you
back,
got some
he's
things to
just
answer
like,
for.
Scott, you a gigolo.
And he
That's what I'm
dies so
gonna say.
early in 3. I can't give him any credit. Sorry,
Yeah.
Scott. Scott, use your power, Scott. I got another moment for you. I don't know if it's a romantic moment, but do you remember when it was Hank talking to Raven. Hank, you're like, who's Hank? It was Beast talking to Mystique in First Class, and they were talking over a serum that will make them normal. And Magneto walks past, looks at Raven, and he's like, "Why would you ever want to be normal?" or something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
real sneaky, and
Right.
like with your powers, with your abilities, or whatever. And I was like, "Oh shit, it's a nice little
Brotherhood.
Yeah, he's trying to build his brotherhood up, but nice little shot of self-confidence there. From a guy who was in a concentration camp, you wouldn't think that he would know how to flirt, but hey, he's got it.
Thanks,
He's
Eric.
killing it there. He I heard that he has a magnetic personality.
Wow. Dun.
Okay, so we got some moments there. When I asked you for your moments, I remember specifically telling you that I didn't want you to pick kisses because I thought kisses should be their own category. I think that there are some explosive kisses that take place in these comic books, between couples, and sometimes not even couples. Sometimes they're these one-off, what if kind of scenarios. Yeah, flings. Besides married couples, boyfriend and boyfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend, or just flings. Who do you have listed as some of these the top kisses that you've witnessed either in comic book form?
It's funny because I got a couple, but like one that's really at the top of my list is probably from the MCU. Pepper kisses Tony's helmet, chucks it out the plane, and Tony's got to go get it.
Is that part 2? I want to say, right?
That is
Shoots
two.
it through?
That is
Shoots
two.
it
Yeah.
through. and then he
there's
jumps
two.
out the back.
Yep. You
He
complete me.
he
And
was
then
asking
yeah.
for a kiss, right? And
Yes.
then she kisses the
Yeah,
helmet.
she kisses the helmet and then she chucks it out the window, and then he's like, "Oh, whatever. I
Yeah, I
gotta go
mean,
get it now."
definitely shows their playful
You
nature.
complete me. That's it.
He could have took that wrong,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Tony likes to
yeah,
play too,
yeah.
so it was cool to. That definitely set the tone in that movie to say where they were
Yeah, where they were
in
and
that
how they
relationship
are. Yeah, definitely. That's
because
exactly how I took it.
they matter of fact they were on the outs in that movie too because that's when he makes her the CEO because he
Yeah,
goes
she
back to and
does. Yeah,
he's
she
like I
does
got
take
you a
the
box of strawberries and
Yeah,
she was
she
like
does take
I'm
the
allergic
company.
to strawberries and he's like I knew that. Yeah, that's a good kiss. That's a good kiss. I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna hit you with a haymaker because
Okay.
I got one that I know you forgot about, bro.
Wow.
You ready for
Listen,
this?
that Joker one was crazy to
That's
me.
really good.
That one hit me hard,
I'm
man.
trying to come with the deep cuts because some automatically come to mind,
Right,
and if
yeah.
we all have the same ones, then there's
True,
no
true, true, true.
conversation. So I'm gonna go with the Daredevil rain kiss from Daredevil 1. I'm gonna go with him being able to see Electro Nachos for the first time because it rains, and that
Mm.
imagery of seeing Jennifer
Wait.
Garner there.
The TV show or the movie?
I'm going with the movie. I'm going with the
I
first time we saw it.
honestly, I'd go with the movie too.
I'm gonna go with the first time we saw it because it does happen. You're right. It happens
Right. It
with
does happen.
Karen, and him in the second season. But I think it took from that movie. I
Right,
think
yeah, I
that
think so
everyone
too.
remembers just the Matrix
Yeah.
style raindrops falling down her face and
And
how
I
he.
remember because it's raining, and then he's looking at her, and she's all blue.
Yeah, and she's like just with her eyes closed, soaking in the rain,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like,
And he's like,
"You're beautiful."
ah.
Yeah, he's like,
Yep.
"Oh, you're beautiful," and a blind kiss. I mean, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that was
just
kind of cool.
it's
See,
all feels.
there's beautiful things in ugly things.
Yeah,
See,
there it is. There it is. Beauty,
but
beauty
let
in
it be
ugliness.
love to bring it out.
Oh, we do need love. Now that mask kiss was pretty good, but it's kind of cold. You know,
Yeah.
metal on human. You got anything else in that on
Um,
that side as far as
I
kisses are
have,
concerned?
I have. All right, so it's more of a it isn't anything specific. It's more of a general sense. Spider Man and Gwen. Whether it be comics, movies, TV, what have you, animated. Because if you, my thing, like I love Spider Man and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
You know, and I love Spider Man and Gwen. But if I had to really cut and dry, Spider Man and Gwen. Mary, I don't know. A lot of people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but if you pay attention, Mary Jane got around a lot.
In the MCU?
No, in actually the
The
TV show.
animated series? The
Yeah,
animated series.
TV show.
Yeah,
And that was childhood for me right there,
yeah.
you know? So
It goes to show because you said it before with Betty Ross.
right.
The idea that these characters could be more if people gave them more attention or gave them
Mhm.
more because had Spider-Man stopped
Yeah.
with the three, that we knew prior to the Amazing Spider-Man
Mhm.
2, 1 and 2, you get no Gwen Stacy. We
Yeah.
get Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, but that was barely a
Yeah, that was
role. That
barely
was
yeah.
barely a thing. So comic fans got to be educated on who
And
Gwen
we
Stacy
didn't
is and what she meant
and,
to Peter,
and Amazing Spider-Man, we didn't get no Mary Jane at all too, so
which
that
was
cool.
good.
Yeah, I
which
thought
is
that was
good.
real
You know,
cool.
you don't want to have the whole like split attention.
Right.
deal,
And we've
you know.
had three movies with Mary Jane, so I'm kind of glad we got my Gwen in there.
And maybe I'm starting to because I love that we have this podcast and have this outlet because I legit come up with things as we talk. Like some of
Mhm.
these thoughts have never crossed my mind, but I think it has a lot to do with their introductions. MJ's introduction, if I'm not mistaken, is that Peter goes to take a picture of her, and then she goes to like wave at Peter, but she's not talking to Peter. She's talking like past
Past
Peter.
him,
So it's like this beautiful girl that I care about that I hope sees me doesn't
even know I exist.
And whereas Peter and Gwen were fine.
Mm.
She wasn't ignoring him.
No.
She just didn't know him that much. And as soon as she got to know him, she opened up. She laughed with him. She joked with him. He would stutter, and she would like, "So what are you trying to say?" Like
Mhm.
she gave him a shot from the jump. Whereas MJ only ever went to Peter for like support. Like, can you support me and make me better so that I can go and be with somebody else?
Yeah, yo, that pissed
And
me
that-
off.
There's a lot to that, and I think that's a wrongful portrayal of MJ in general, because in some comics they get married, they have kids.
they get married and they have kids.
In the comics they get married. In some comics they have kids. So it's like there has to be more good in the MJ
Right.
character than was
And it was
portrayed.
portrayed, yeah.
Are you ready for a new incarnation of MJ? With
I'm
this,
I'm definitely
with
ready. Because I need to see.
Zendaya,
Is
right? Is her name?
yeah, Zendaya. But it hasn't said that she's
They
gonna
said
be.
at the end, she said, "If my friends call me MJ."
Oh yeah, my friends did call me MJ. I forgot.
Yeah. It's all set up,
Oh,
baby.
it's coming.
Yeah, Peter,
All
Tom
right,
Holland,
all I'm saying,
Tom
just make
Holland.
don't make her Kirsten Dunst.
Yes. Kirsten. I thought they were great in the first one.
I thought so too,
But
man.
now
But then
when you look at it more though, it is kind of like, why are you chasing someone, Peter? You're an
why are you?
amazing person.
No, this movie makes me feel like why are you chasing MJ?
I'm getting angry just talking about it, so I'm gonna go to
Yep.
it with my
Make,
kiss.
yep.
And I'm going to go with now. This is gonna be my favorite kiss. I have a number one kiss, and that's because as soon as we said kisses, there's only one kiss that all of you thought of, and we'll get to that.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna go with my favorite kiss as the next one I want to mention, and that is the kiss between Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle in Batman Returns in 1992, because that is the kiss in which they find out that they are
You're right.
both Batman
You're
and
right.
Catwoman.
Because they kissed when they were suited up,
Yep.
and then when they kissed again in the house,
Yes.
that's when it clicked.
They kiss
You
at
can
the
see,
party.
yeah, when they back away from each other, it's like
Yes, and one of the greatest lines in movie history comes out. She goes, "Are we supposed to start fighting? Should we start fighting?
Mhm.
Because what do you do?"
right.
And they both look at each other with this look of like, what? Do we
That's
just
crazy.
start
Like, do we
throwing
just start
punches?
yeah.
Because she knocks him off a roof. He
Right.
throws her through a greenhouse.
Mhm.
Like they go at
They
it.
mess each other up, yeah.
So, and there's a scene of them making out on Bruce's couch in which they're trying to feel each other up, but they get close to each other's scars
Right.
and they're pushing away so they don't know
Mhm.
that they have scars. So, as a kid, it was always just so magical that that kiss could mean double. How much a kiss could mean, and it goes well. Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it, but a kiss could be even deadlier if you mean it. And that comes from Batman Returns.
I was just about to say that. That was in the movie,
That comes from Batman Returns. And so when I think of comic book kisses, I think of that little rhyme. I think of that there, and that's my favorite.
That's money right there.
You got any other ones you want to talk about?
Which I thought we were gonna talk about earlier, Deadpool and Vanessa. Well,
they had a lot of kissing because they did a lot of physical.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Things.
Yes. Towards the end, what I really wanted to put was Vanessa and Hugh Jackman. Wow.
Oh yes.
Because he has a Hugh Jackman cutout on his face when he takes off his Deadpool mask. And then eventually he takes off. And it's also the first time they both kiss while he looks like that. After he gets experimented on, and after essentially he becomes Deadpool, so that was cool. And to see her not really phased by it, to just, go in without any hesitation was kind of cool for me to see it just go straight in for it.
Not only that, but the majority of the movie exists because he just won't tell her, right? That he's
alive,
yeah, and that he is scarred this way. And so you see him at various points attempt to,
right?
And when he's not able to, that kind of is what sets the rest of the movie off. And then to just be able to be like, we both almost died. Can we just? Can you just
let's take this W.
Great. That's a great kiss because it went underneath. Literally underneath the skin of of what beauty is, or just that love is not skin deep. It's deeper than that. Heart deep. Is that a thing? Blood deep. Stop me when I got it. Great one. But it's not gonna be the top because I've asked a couple people and they've already given me all their votes. And it was almost unanimous. The superhero kiss that everybody thinks of. Yes, the superhero kiss that everybody thinks of in the world. Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
Yeah, I got that. No, I don't. I got Spider-Man and Gwen. It was the opposite.
No, but you thought. I know it came to mind.
Right.
He's upside down.
Yeah.
She pulls it down, not even enough to see
just
his.
The mouth.
She doesn't want to even know who he is.
Mouth.
Just enough, just to have that kiss. It is pouring raining.
Yep.
Beautiful shot, beautiful moment.
I actually shared that today too.
That ties it all together. girls and guys alike flooded the major issues inbox to let us know that their pick was
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man and Mary Jane. I thought that was kind of humorous because, well, not funny, but just the idea that
Everybody was
how
thinking the
how
same.
how important it's been,
Yeah.
how important that moment was. Because you write a scene and you're like, oh, that'd be cool.
And I feel like subconsciously people kind of want to see what it's like to kiss if one of them were upside down in a way.
Yeah, but now you've gotten me upset because now I just think about how she practiced that upside down kiss with the astronaut to see if it was the same. Do you remember that? He's sitting on the couch. He's sitting on the couch in part two, and she's like,
Wow.
"Let me see if this is the same with him."
That
Nope. I
did
guess I'm gonna
happen.
marry Peter.
Wow.
Sorry about that. Do you hate Mary Jane more now?
I hate Mary Jane in the movies.
Yeah, she's pretty
No.
bad. She's pretty terrible. I don't know why they did that for him. It's kind of like what they did with Walter White, making Skyler the enemy almost, just by being annoying and kind of condescending sometimes.
True.
Peter Parker in those three movies is a college student, is a delivery boy, is
Mm-hmm.
a photographer, and a superhero. And Mary Jane was fired from the diner and fired from Broadway and fired from.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Peter, get yourself a Zendaya. Put that
Yeah.
dunce down. Get yourself a
Yeah.
Zendaya. Great kisses, great kisses. Trying to think of any other ones that we might have missed. Something that people at home would think of, but I ain't thinking of many others. One of my favorites that honorable mention. I liked when Cap and Sharon Carter kissed, only because his two legit best friends were in the back
Yeah, we're in the
watching that
back
shit.
watching
And
for approval.
he's kind of the Boy Scout. He's kind of the prude, He's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
the,
yeah.
and it's like, oh, look at
Because
old.
we all know Cap got manners.
Yeah, Cap got manners.
And
He's
then he
going.
asked her. He
He's gonna
asked her. He
ask
was
it.
like, "Was that too? Was that too?"
Oh, was that too much? Yeah, I mean, look, my boy Cap, he cares about uh Sharon. He cares about women. He cares about
Cares
respect.
about feelings.
He cares about the fact that he dated this person's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff comes into play. But I thought that kiss.
Cap is like 125.
Oh, you ain't lying. That kiss is pretty cool. Iceman and Rogue. Rogue can't kiss Iceman because
Oh
of her
yeah,
powers.
and then he ends up.
He ends up, I guess,
almost
freezing. What do you think
seizuring.
happens? He freezes her mouth, her tongue. He freezes his own mouth.
I don't know.
He freezes his own
she takes
lips.
his She takes his powers, and then it's like he almost busts out into a seizure.
But the first time they kiss, they're able to.
Yeah.
Cause he puts
but
ice in her mouth or something.
No.
And then he pulls away and blows it, and then they go in for another one, and she
I don't think
takes it.
Yeah, but yeah, but I don't think that second time around that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
The first time they did it, she had gloves on.
Yeah, but their lips should have still been an issue.
Yeah, but I think the last time they did it, she had her gloves off.
Oh, she had it on his face.
So it was more like
Pulling
exposure.
away.
So it was more of her using her powers as opposed to the first time. You know what I mean?
But I dig a homeboy trying to find a solution.
Yeah,
It's like, listen,
yeah, for real.
It's one of those things that you say. It's like a long distance relationship. Something that you say in the beginning. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, oh, I can't kiss you. I can't touch you. Sure, you're great. I love you anyway.
Like,
and then a
it was
week,
like,
and then a month, and then a year.
Yeah.
And then Shadowcat shows up, and Shadowcat's all like, "Hey, you want to go ice skating and stuff like that?" And it becomes an issue. Kitty Pryde there.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool workaround, and I'm excited to see if they ever bring like the Rogue Gambit a parallel, because that's something that we saw a lot in the animated series, right? Mon ami.
Guess what? Now if they keep pushing that movie back.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Kristen Dunst, please.
It's been like since like 2011.
Kristen Dunst as Rogue. How you think?
Oh no, I would never go watch
Not a
that
fan.
movie.
Not a fan.
Ever in my life.
Well, I think it's time that we get down to the nittiest of the grittiest. Right? Comic book couple, bro.
Ooh,
Comic book couple.
Los Lovers.
The lovers. Now, I'm gonna throw out some of the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Superman and Lois Lane. Now, are you a Superman and Lois guy, or are you a Superman and Wonder Woman guy?
It depends on how I wake up because Lois doesn't have any powers.
Right. Okay,
You know?
so then I guess this is a better question. Are you a superpowered with superpowered guy, or are you a superpowered with normal person guy?
Damn, I don't know because I'm kind of like.
I mean, look at the couples on your list. Are they more both powered, or are they more a normal person trying to help?
To be honest, it's kind of even.
Okay.
kind of
Ah,
even.
so you think it works both ways?
Yeah, I think it'll work well both ways. Yeah, definitely.
Well, you got it there listed as some of your
Well,
favorites.
at the top.
You might want to
Well,
go to the bottom,
well, in
right?
no specific order,
Oh, no
really. To be
specific
honest,
order.
I have Reed and Soup.
Reed and Sue Richards of Fantastic Four fame.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, Yogi
Mm-hmm.
of Comic Book Clique fame, of Major Issues fame. Go back and listen to some episodes that
Mm-hmm.
we covered Doomsday Clock on. He chose Reed and Sue Richards.
Wow.
Um,
Look at that.
he says that he has way too much history with those two.
Yeah.
I don't think we've gotten a really good portrayal. I mean, we got the movies, but considering that the Fantastic Four was Marvel's answer to the Justice League, they might be one of the first couples in Marvel Comics
Right.
lore. And not only couple, they're married. They
Married. Yeah.
were married when it happened. This is not a situation of, well, we'll play will they or won't they for 20 issues and then, they're married. They're a married couple, and I mean, they've stood the test of time. To my knowledge, they're not divorced. They've gone through their issues, in Civil War. They were on different sides of that war, and that can obviously make things a little sticky.
Right.
But yeah, they've stood the test of time. What do you like about Sue and old Sue and Reed?
Um,
That he's
they were
he's
always.
flexible.
To be honest, they had their they're known for having their problem.
Yeah.
Like especially like, well, it's been portrayed in the comics,
It doesn't go Hank Pym.
TV.
And,
No, hell no. Oh my God.
to those that are uninitiated, Hank Pym and his wife Janet
Yeah.
Van Dyne always similarly got into a lot of scuffles, but in one particular scuffle, Hank Pym actually puts his
Yeah,
hands on her.
He struck her.
He hit her. So no, not that bad.
But they were,
problems.
but as when they were on the same page, they were always for each other. So I dig that in for a couple when they're down for each other, but they know how to put everything aside that they're dealing with. And,
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. They do that very well.
They're legit teammates.
Yes,
like
legit
you can't.
teammates. Like you just know they're on the Fantastic Four. They're on the team, both
And
of them.
almost kind of like mother and father to the team.
To the team, yeah.
In that
Because
way.
you got Johnny. Johnny's more like
Hothead.
Hothead, and Ben is
Kick rocks.
Kick
man.
rocks.
No, I get
Clobber
it.
in time.
I get it. No, I dig it. So Reed and Sue. No, that's good. I should probably pull a Marvel on you, and I'm gonna pull this out from under you because I actually thought this is something you would have picked. I'm gonna go with Tony Stark and Pepper Potts.
I left that out because I didn't want to seem biased.
Okay.
Because I got a lot. Because I got
a lot of
like
Iron
two,
Man on the
I
list.
got like two favorites for that category, so I narrowed it down to one. Which
I think that underneath everything, the suits, the cocky demeanor, the one-liners, all of it, is a man that only Pepper knows. And I feel like there are
Hell
several
yeah.
points in the movie, especially in the beginning, where she managed to touch his heart where no one else could. She managed to touch, the part of him that no one else has even tried to explore. When she gives him the heart in the box, like the proof that Tony Stark has
the
a
arc
heart.
reactor, yeah.
I thought that was absolutely amazing. She never tries to like make them a thing. Like she doesn't go out of her way to be like, and like I did my hair for you, and would you? She wants to work with him. She wants to work for him. She doesn't mind working for him. She has her feelings for him, but she knows the kind of guy that he is. He's a playboy, and in that first movie, he stops being a playboy the same way he stops being a weapons manufacturer. And I think it's because of a girl like Pepper. A lot of people not big fans of Gwyneth Paltrow, but I thought that those two together.
Yeah, I thought that was money, man.
I thought they were.
To me,
I mean,
honestly,
Robert is a lot of that.
Yeah.
RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. is a lot of that interaction, but Gwyneth Paltrow does what she needs to do. She's a perfect diving board for those conversations.
I love them. In the movies, I love them together, bro. Like, every time I see them in a room, I just pop. Marvel did.
I'll tell you when I popped. I popped when she showed up in Homecoming.
Oh hell yeah!
I thought they're back,
and they're getting married.
We're good. We're back. We're
She
getting
just
married.
tossed in the
Oh
ring.
my God! Yeah, that's what it was, right?
Tossed in the ring
They had
because
to
Peter
announce something. Yeah, they had to announce something.
With it. He didn't want to be on the team. So yeah, he still got the ring.
He had to announce something. So yeah, now they're getting married.
They got married. They're getting married. Damn! I just got too excited. I got thrown off. So
No, I was talking
gonna
about
say
favorite
before.
moments. That was one of my favorite moments. Was when.
Oh yeah,
when that happens.
but they're my favorite in like comic cinematic universe or history. They're my favorite, like hands down. They're my freaking favorite because of the way she turns him around and he turns it around because he wants to be with her. So I really like that.
Yeah. And at several points has stopped it, whatever kind of madness and self
Mm-hmm.
indulgent behavior he's been indulging in, and just I gotta cut the crap because Pepper's gonna leave, and I don't want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Pepper and Tony. Who else you got?
I got Spider-Man and MJ. Wow.
Spider-Man and Mary Jane. I mean,
Okay.
go ahead.
So let me think, because I know I said a lot of stuff earlier about MJ. They're I believe they're like one of the most famous couples.
Definitely.
But more so, I put that on there is because more so of the strength of Peter.
Yeah.
Because Peter bends over backwards for Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over. And it's like I can't stress it enough, because it's like if you can't miss it. It's something that you can't overlook. Like even in the comics, in the movies, and especially in the freaking TV show. Oh my God, man!
It's also interesting because so far with the picks that we've made, Pepper knows that Tony is
Right.
is Iron Man, and Reed and Sue know that they're in the Fantastic Four. So a lot of Spider-Man's story is him doing shit from the shadows, doing
Yeah.
stuff from the shadows, for this girl he has a crush on, and I guess that's where you get a lot of that one-sided love until she reciprocates,
Mm-hmm.
until she says. But it's it's the tale as old as time.
Mm-hmm.
It's right up there with Superman and Lois. But guess what? I wasn't a reporter growing up, but I was a high school kid,
Right.
and I did see the hot girl in high school, and I did wonder what our lives would be like together. So, whereas people would say that Superman and Lois is the quintessential comic book relationship, to me it's MJ and Peter Parker. Even though they may not be my favorite,
Mhm.
I think that it's probably the most prolific uh, prolific
Oh, yeah,
duo
love.
couple out there. But another prolific couple, I sat there and I thought, and I asked the clique for
Mhm.
their choices, and we had a couple good ones there. Gregory from New York says Ali and Dinah, basically Oliver Queen,
Mhm.
the Green Lantern. I
Mhm.
mean Arrow,
Mhm.
and Black Canary.
Mhm.
Um, Jasmine from Florida, New York says Superman and Wonder Woman. I asked that question earlier.
Cool.
I guess people. I mean, I can see that aspect of if you're a Wonder Woman, you might want a Superman,
Yeah,
and if
true.
you're a
Yeah,
Superman, you
yeah. You
might
might want to
want a
want
Wonder
Wonder
Woman. So
Woman.
I get that aspect too. That was good there. But I almost put Barry Allen and Iris West.
Okay.
Almost.
Almost.
But she kept saying that they're the Flash,
Yeah.
bro.
We are not the Flash. Barry, you are the Flash.
She keeps saying that they're the Flash, and I cannot allow that to stand.
Yeah, I
So
can't allow that to
I
stand
have
either.
replaced them with Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoke.
Yeah.
Now, Olicity, as they are known on the internet, gets a lot of hate. Now, I wasn't watching a lot of Arrow when people were watching Arrow, so I don't know where their anger stems. A
Right.
lot of people are just genuinely angry because um, it's not Black Canary,
Right.
basically.
Right. Right.
That's
Okay.
what it was in the comics. That's what it always should be, quote unquote. And they're just upset with that. But man,
That's all right.
if you watched Arrow
Yeah.
and you've seen him in season 1 where he wouldn't say a word, he wouldn't talk to nobody, damn near smile. Felicity has this man wrapped around her finger. And to tell you the truth, I'm kind of in love now, and that's kind of how I feel.
Right.
I kind of feel like no matter how upset I get, or "Oh, this is my city," the second that she needs me, the second she asks for my help, or the second that I need my wounds patched up, the second I need more motivation or focus to my next task, she's in his ear. She's legit his partner on
On
every
every
mission.
yeah.
Right there at his side.
Especially when all that stuff with Slade is going down.
Looking over his shoulder, and they like all couples, they get into it. They
Right.
and stuff. They're married now. Spoiler alert. But
Iris isn't
the
happy
way
about
he
that.
lights up, yeah, the way he lights up when he sees her is my personification of what love is, and I think that those two actors do a great job in portraying that as far as these superheroes
Right.
go. So that's my other pick. I'm saving my number one
Oh,
till you tell me
nice.
your last one. I don't know if
Ooh.
it's your number one.
My
My last one
one.
is my number one.
Nice.
But,
I like how you saved that.
yeah.
My last one is not my favorite one. But it's a goodie nonetheless. Bruce and Betty.
Bruce and Betty Ross, daughter of famed General Thunderbolt Ross. So it's already the I'm dating the guy that daddy don't want me to date
Right,
kind
right,
of
right, right, right.
situation, and he kind of has a temper. But yeah, Betty Ross does not get as much credit as she
I think they
should.
both don't get as a couple. They don't get that
Well, it's
much
because
credit.
of this whole rights issue
Yeah,
with Paramount and stuff like that. And I don't think anyone's watching a Hulk show,
yeah, right, right.
you
That's
know.
true. Yeah,
And so unless you're going to tell that story every week with those two, it's hard to get that story. But I think from Edward Norton's Hulk, I think
that was
gave us
I
our
really
best
yeah.
Betty
I like
and
that. I like that a lot.
we had there was
And
a
that
good.
and to this day that still really sticks out to me.
The first Hulk had a good Betty and Bruce, but I do think that the better one is that second one
Oh
when
yeah.
you see him able to control himself because of her.
And she's with him. Like remember when they're when he takes her.
And he jumps off the plane. She's
Yeah,
on the plane when he jumps off the plane. Like she's there with him every step of the way, and that's what you need for a partner. So yeah, I'm with it. Betty and Bruce.
Betty.
Yogi, he chimed in. He said that
What do you
his
got?
favorite is, his favorite couple is Reed and Sue. But as far as moments go, he wanted just to give a shout out to Swamp Thing and Abigail Arcane. Now I've been
Hmm.
reading Swamp Thing. This thing's very interesting. And I've heard of this in Swamp Thing's annual in 1980. I want to say 85, 1985. Swamp Thing annual, he has to go to hell to save the soul of this woman
Hmm.
that he's in love with. And I've heard from everybody that this thing is amazing. The only reason why Yogi didn't dive into deeper details is I'm still reading this
Right, and
series.
you wanna
And he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
spoil it for me because real friends don't spoil real
Right.
friends. So I'm definitely shouting that out for you, Yogi, Swamp Thing, and Abigail Arcane. I said Superman and Wonder Woman. Melissa from Columbus, Ohio says, "Oh, Poison Ivy and Harley."
That's different. I like. You know what?
People thinking
Let's
outside the
put that.
box.
Yeah. We gonna throw that up there. Throw that up there.
Harley coming from one of the most
Throw
poison
that up there.
relationships
Yup.
ever. Is
To actually
basically
find some genuine love.
and find somebody who cares about
who
her.
cares about her.
In the animated series, Poison Ivy was always giving Harley like tough luck, like
Right.
tough love, like don't call him. Like, what are you
Yeah.
complaining? Why are you crying? Only because she felt so empowered by herself and her ability to empower another woman. I think that's amazing. I'm not too sure if they've ever become an actual couple. I
Mhm.
could be wrong, guys. Let me know if I am. But yeah, I
Do
gotta love a
you
click for thinking outside the
do
box.
you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, my honorable mention is very close to my number one. My
Okay.
honorable mention to me is the Justice League Unlimited portrayal of Batman and Wonder Woman.
Wow.
That's because I believe, and I might get a little sappy here,
Mhm.
but I believe that love has to do with the missing pieces of the puzzle.
Okay.
I believe that there are certain parts of me that can help. There's certain parts of me that I'm amazing at, and certain parts of
Right.
me that I'm terrible at. And my significant other is bad at things I'm good at, and good at things I'm bad at.
Right.
And that's why we meld for each
You know-
other because we help lift each other where we sag, and we help motivate each other to get better where we can't. And I feel like Wonder Woman loving Batman, knowing that he's quote unquote weaker,
Mhm.
and Batman loving Wonder Woman without having that subconscious, like, oh, she might be stronger than me, but I drive the
Right,
car.
drive
Yeah,
the car.
that kind of. Without that, I think it is amazing, and
Okay.
because their love is still tender.
Mhm.
It's not you're stronger than me, so I don't gotta love you. It's
Mhm.
still like because everyone needs love, and regardless of how indestructible
true.
you think you are, it takes somebody caring to show
I-
you how vulnerable you really
I
are.
like that you said that because that leads to my honorable mention.
Okay.
But my honorable mention is real left. I'm gonna say, and you probably don't see this coming either. Vegeta and Bulma.
Vegeta and Bulma. That I mean they have a kid together. That's a manga that works. I mean you could throw Chi Chi and Goku up there too. I mean they met as kids.
Goku's never around.
But they
Goku's always dying and training.
But they met as kids.
whatnot.
Their
True,
love
true,
is
true.
as old as
And Goku did
time.
marry Chi-Chi was a princess at the
They
time.
have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
2 kids, yeah. So they were able to go do their thing, but can you give me a nice little drum roll there on that table? As my number one comic book couple.
Wow, he held that out. I even did my honorable mention.
is-
Which one is
Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. That is my
Wow.
number
Yeah?
one comic book couple. Various reasons.
Yeah.
One, interracial,
Yeah. Oof.
progressive.
We like that.
Getting progressive in it. You
Let's do it.
understand? Mixing it up a little bit. And it's not like, well, Luke Cage is white in the comics. It's none of that stuff.
They both
Luke
have.
Cage has always been black. Jessica Jones has always been white, and there's absolutely no problem with their relationship. Not saying that they're the only interracial couple out there, but they're my favorite.
They both have super strength. Too.
Both have super strength. Part 2, New Yorkers.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to have a relationship in New York? You see 18,000 of the opposite sex on the train, on the bus, while you're walking down the street, while you're going to get your bacon, egg, and cheese. And these two never have no trust issues. They don't care about it because you know what? Luke Cage knows there's only one Luke Cage in the world. Jessica Jones knows there's only one Jessica Jones in the world.
True.
And they fit each other like a glove. Reason 3, they passionate. You seen the Jessica Jones show?
I sure did.
They are passionate,
Yes.
my brother.
That's why I said the super strength because I knew we was eventually gonna.
They take a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets, or at least a superhero in the sheets. Those two get down and ultimately have a kid.
Remember, it's all about love.
Ultimately have a child. There's very few couples in comic book history that see the full arc of a relationship, of dating, being together, having a child, moving in together. We don't get that a lot. It's to the point that Luke Cage will be doing something and be like, I gotta go home early because if not, Jess is gonna get mad, and no one questions it. No one goes, "Oh, Luke," because Jess will beat you up too.
That too.
Jess will take you out.
She is really strong.
Jessica Jones will take you out. So, we were talking a little bit about superpowered, and normal and not. I do like the normal aspect of it because, like I said again, it's the fitting of the
I
puzzle
do too,
pieces.
but it becomes a problem for me
if you're always saving them.
Not if you're always saving them, but what if you're in trouble?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
This is true. I mean, Iris has been able to save sometimes.
Call the cops.
Felicity sometimes has been able to save, but I get your point. I get your point.
So,
and then you have people like Lois Lane who always say like, I don't need to be saved, and you have those two. So I guess you got to mix that up in there. But I look at everybody and everybody's cool.
Yeah.
But the couple I want to hang out with, the couple I want to double date with, is Jessica Jones and Luke Cage.
That's what's up. I like
I think that's a respectable pick.
I can't really double date with Bruce and Betty because.
And
if Bruce looks at the check and if it pisses him off, then I don't know what's gonna happen.
You have now you got Bruce Wayne and Catwoman. Is a thing now. Mm-hmm. I guess you could throw that up for an honorable mention. There's a lot of people who like that Cat and Bat. And if you want to know more,
they did just get married, right?
Yeah. If you want to know more about the Cat and the Bat, I believe episode 8 of Major Issues is all about the Batman and Catwoman. So you can go ahead and check out that. Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman is a couple. Beast Boy and Raven. We have Starfire and Robin. I'm trying to throw some out fast. You have Linda Park and Wally West. We got I know they're screaming. People are listening to this podcast and they're screaming answers at me, and I can't hear them. And they're like, "Why are you not mentioning this couple?" But I think I'm kind of drawing a blank at the moment. I think I've reached that end. But I'll tell you what, I'm feeling loved.
I'm feeling loved.
I'm feeling all the love. I'm feeling all the love. What a great Valentine's Day
I've
edition.
been feeling fine.
That's beautiful. What a great... Jean Grey and Cyclops. Did I say that already?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely said that already. Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah.
If you guys know any other couples that we have missed, go ahead and go to our Facebook at ComicBook Clique, or you can just go to comicbookclique@gmail.com.
Drop us a line.
Yes, put the episode number in the subject line and just let us know what your favorite comic book couple is, or comic book kiss, or maybe most romantic moment in comic books, TV shows, and all kinds of media. But I knew this was going to be a very special episode, and I'm glad that you came by, Carlos Maximus, for it. Hopefully the fans eat it up. We love you guys, and they have been showing their support. I mean, our downloads are climbing.
We're becoming more and more worthy.
Yeah, more and more worthy. Like I said, I've been to the future, so I know this gets big. We're just waiting on Ya to help us get there, and we're patient. Baby steps. We'll keep giving you guys great content, and you guys keep downloading. And if you want to download this, or you want to check out all the other kind of crazy things that we do here, all you have to do is go to facebook.com/comicbookclique, Instagram at comicbookclique, or use the hashtag comicbookclique to talk about the latest and greatest things to come to comic books and comic book media. And then when it comes to this podcast right here, the Major Issues podcast, wherever podcasts are found. That's Podbean, that's Stitcher, that's Podcast Addict, that's iTunes. Wherever podcasts are found, you can find the Major Issues podcast. Just search Major Issues, and you'll see us all there in our comic book glory. But do us a favor, once you've done that, and once you've heard a good handful of episodes, go ahead and leave us a comment, rate and review us on iTunes.
Cause that's love.
Oh, that is love. And you want to know how that's love? One, it's
Mm.
free. And love should kind of sort of be free. And two, it spreads just like love does.
Wow,
You go
look at
ahead and
that.
rate and review us. Other people see those rates and reviews and go, oh, maybe I should be listening to that podcast. Then they listen. They hear us ask them to review us.
Wow.
They do it. And more people listen
And
to the
then
podcast.
we're in the future. You were in.
You see how you understand?
Wow.
Then all of a
See?
sudden, boom, you blink 20 years in the
See? Look at
future.
that. Thank you, people.
Yeah, you're ready. See, you jumped the gun. You're already thinking.
Wow,
we're waiting.
wow,
We're
okay,
waiting
I need
for
to-
this.
I need to
We're
relax,
asking for
ladies and
this
gentlemen.
first. So we will thank you. We just need some rates and reviews on iTunes. Go ahead and leave us that, because we're trying to get as much constructive criticism as we can, so we can make this podcast the podcast that I know it can be, the podcast I saw in the future, which is the greatest podcast for comic books and comic book media. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, I'm feeling loved. My name is George Serrano, a.k.a. The Don. This has been a Major Issues Valentine's Day spectacular.
And I am Cloudus Maximus.
And don't forget that you're loved, that
Wow.
you're special,
And
that
the most,
you are the only one for us.
Ooh, the only one.
And remember,
You
you
are
are
worthy.
worthy.